These are the B and C level problems from 11.6. All right, number 13. You have to find this area of just this little colored in part right here. If you have a circle, it has a radius of 4. So what I'm going to do is find the area of the sector, this entire sector, and I'm going to subtract the area of the triangle. So I know how to find the area of a sector. It's x over 360 times pi r squared. I know how to find the area of a triangle. It's 1/2 base times height. We know that x is 90 because of the right angle symbol. So 90 over 360 times pi, and the radius is 4 because it's given. So times pi times r, radius squared, 4 times 4. 90 over 360 is 1/4. The 4's cancel, and I'm left with 4 pi. It's a lot easier, folks, to cancel first than multiply. All right, make sure you have everything connected by multiplication, and remember, cancel one numerator with one denominator. So this is the area of the sector, 4 pi. Finding the area of the radius, the triangle, 1/2 base times height. The base is 4, the height is 4. Remember, base and heights always come in perpendicular pairs. So if they're not perpendicular, you don't have a height. Okay, so 1/2, 4 times 4, that's 8. So the area is area 1, the area of the entire, this little colored in part, area 1 minus area 2, that's 4 pi minus 8 units. And that's it. You know, you can't combine these things. This isn't 4 pi or something. It's 4 pi minus 8. Remember, treat pi's and radicals just like variables. All right, you wouldn't try to do 4x minus 8 and somehow come up with 4 that way either. So don't do it here. All right, 15, the problem looks like this. Okay, you've got to find this area here. So what I decided to do is I thought if I could find this area of 3/4 of a circle and then add to it the area of the triangle, I'd be good to go. So the area of 3/4 of the circle I'm calling region 1. The area of the triangle I'm calling region 2. They tell us that the diameter is 8, so that means the radius is 4. The radius is 4, and so this triangle is easy to find the area. 1/2 base times height, 1/2 4 times 4. That's 8. It's very similar to problem 13. This part of it is, at least. Okay, over here, x over 360 times pi times r squared, that's the area of the sector. And this central angle right here, that's this guy all the way around there. All right, that is 270. So 270 divided by 360, you know, the part to the whole is equal to 270 over 360, which is 3/4. All right, so 3/4, that's the proportion of the circle that I need, times pi times r squared, 4 squared. Okay, cancel one numerator with one denominator, and I'm left with 12 pi. And so I have to add area 1, which is 12 pi, to area 2, which is 8. So 12 pi plus 8 units squared, always. We're going to talk about the puppy problem next. The hardest part about this problem isn't so much the geometry, it's the addition and the subtraction of the fractions. That's what people need work on. Okay, so I divvy this up into 4 regions. Okay, this first region, the puppy can just kind of roam around right here. Okay, and he roams in a semicircle. Then the second region, his little leash hangs up on the edge of this building, and he can roam in region 2. And then he can kind of wander around in this area because he's got plenty of space. And then this triangular region is region 3, and then this last little sector is region 4. So again, his leash hangs up here, and then he can only roam just in a pie, like a pizza-shaped wedge there, a sector. Okay, so to find the area of sector 1, it's 288 pi units squared. It's a semicircle, so 1/2 pi r squared. The radius here is 24 because he can roam this entire length. So 1/2 pi times 24 squared, 1 numerator, 1 denominator here. Got that backwards. 2 cancels with the 24. Pi times 12 times 24, 288 pi units squared. Now area 2, I have this is one area here, but I have an identical one on the other side. So remember, areas 2, 3, and 4 all have to be doubled because, the puppy can roam over here in the same pattern. Okay, this is just the area. This is just the area of this region 2 here. Okay, it's a sector, so the formula is x over 360 times pi times r squared. Now we do have to find out what r is. So his little leash hangs up here on the corner. This distance from here to here is 10 because this whole thing is 20, and this guy right here is a midpoint. So that means if his leash is 24 feet long, then when he hangs up here, from here all the way to here is 14. Okay, now my picture isn't great, but this length here is 14. So the radius of this sector 2 is 14. So pi times 14 times 14. We have to figure out this angle. Now, the way I'm going to figure out this angle is I'm going to notice, first of all, I have to look at this triangle first. Okay, this is 5 radical 3 because this is a rectangle right here. And this entire, from the midpoint here to here is 15. Now that's important because from here to here is 15. If we know that from here to here is 15 and from here to here these midpoints line up, that's 10, then this distance from here to here is 10. So if the whole guy is 15 and from here to here is 10, we know this has to be 5. Now that's important because we have a triangle here, 5. This side length is 5. This side length is 5 radical 3. And, there's a couple ways you can go from here. I'm going to redraw this. If you recognize this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, you can get that this side is 10. Okay? If you can't, you're going to have to do it the long way. 5 squared plus 5 radical 3 squared equals c squared. And when the smoke clears, that you're going to get that c is 10. Then maybe you'll say, oh yeah, this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, and the sides are in proportion of 1 radical 3, 2. So 1 radical 3, 2. You might notice that. If that's the case, and you can see that, then this angle here is a 30-degree angle. This guy right here is 30, and this is a right angle right here, so that means this guy is 60. So all that work to find out that this angle here is 60, the angle of the sector. So now we're ready to figure out area 2. X over 360, that's 60 over 360 times pi times 14 times 14. 60 over 360 is just 1/6 times pi times 14 times 14. I'm going to take out a 2 here and get a 3, and I'm going to take out a 2 here and get a 7. 7 times 14 is 98, and divided by 3, and this is my fraction. Okay, it's a simplified pi fraction. It's reduced. It's good. 98 pi over 3 units squared. That's just this one. Remember, I have an identical one on the other side. Area 3 is this triangle here. Okay, and the triangle, I've got to find the area of this triangle right here. So the base and the height come in a perpendicular pair, which is good. That's what I'm looking for. Base times height over 2. So 1/2 base times height to get 25 radical 3 over 2 units squared. Remember, that's just the area of 1. I've got an identical one on this other side. And then area 4 is this tiny little sector right here. Now, if this distance here is 10 and the whole thing is 14, then from here to here has to be 4. And this angle here is 30. Because I have kind of a corresponding thing going on here. This is 90 here, and this is 90 here, and this guy is 30, and this one's going to be 30. Remember, these are like corresponding angles here, and here's a transversal right there. All right, so this has to be 30. Okay, once you know that this is 30 and that the radius is 4, you can figure out the area of the last sector. X over 360, that's 30 over 360 times pi times radius squared times 4 times 4. 30 over 360 is 1/12, all right, times pi times 4 times 4. 1 numerator, 1 denominator. 4 goes into itself 1 time, and it goes 4 goes into 12 3 times, so what I'm left with is 4 pi over 3. And remember, there's an identical one on this other side. Now what I need to do is I got to add up all these areas. This is where things get hard. Okay, so I got to add up area 1 plus 2 of those area 2s. All right, plus 2 area 3s plus 2 area 4s, because the puppy could do the same thing on both sides of the building. So area 1 was 288, area 2 was 9 pi over 3, and I need 2 of them. Area 2 was 25 radical 3 over 2, and I need 2 of them. Area 4 we figured out was 4 pi over 3, and I need 2 of them. Okay, so let's see. The 2's cancel here, and I just get 25 pi over 3. 2 times 4 pi over 3 is 8 pi over 3. 2 times 98 pi over 3 is 196 pi over 3. And I have the 288 pi. What I need to do in order to combine all these guys, this one, and this one, is I need to get a common denominator so that I can add them. All right, so multiplying 288 pi by 1 in the form of 3 over 3 gives me 864 pi over 3. 3 times 288 is 864, and 3 times 1 here is just 3. Okay, now I have enough information I can add these guys. Adding 864 plus 196 plus 8 gives me 1068 pi over 3. And I got my little 25 pi over 3 here. Ooh, whoops, I missed it. So when I add 864 pi over 3 plus 196 pi over 3 plus 8 pi over 3, I get 1068 pi over 3. And then I have this 25 radical 3 hanging off the end here. Okay, so this is the exact answer. 1068 pi over 3. 3 goes evenly into 1068. It's 356 pi. And this is the exact answer. I can't combine these anymore. I got little pi animals here and little radical 3 animals here, and they just don't work together, okay? So that's the exact answer. The approximate answer, I'm going to multiply 356 by the decimal approximation of pi that we like to use, which is 3.14. That gives me 117.84. And then 25 times radical 3 is 1.73205. Lots of numbers here. Adding these two guys together gives me 1,119.57205. Those are units squared. Maybe they're feet. I guess they are. They are feet. Okay, so really these are square feet. The puppy needs at least 1,000 square feet to roam. Since this is greater than 1,000, then we're good pet owners. We're very humane. All right, and that is the end of this one.